Sometimes a legend can blur the lines of reality and create a resounding mystery of unsettled questions. Together, we delve into a legend that has created centuries of unanswered questions and haunted the nightmares of many. A spirit creature of North American tribes, the Wendigo. Hi, I'm Hallow. Welcome to Freaky What. I love telling stories about mysteries, crime, paranormal, and anything else I think is freaky. I really appreciate you watching, and if you enjoy this channel, I hope you'll subscribe and watch my other stories. Now, let's get to it. In the vast wilderness of Minnesota's northern woods, the forests of the Great Lake region, and the central regions of Canada, a chilling presence lurks, preying on the unsuspecting and embodying the darkest depths of human nature. An unknown creature that is part spirit and can cause a man to become ill and cannibalistic has haunted the minds and nightmares of indigenous peoples for centuries. In the folklore of certain North American tribes, the Windigo is a creature that embodies the twisted union of human and monster. It manifests as both a terrifying beast and a malevolent spirit that takes control of those unfortunate enough to encounter it. Throughout their histories, tales of the Windigo have been intertwined with acts of cannibalism, murder, insatiable greed, and cultural taboos against such behaviors. This terrifying entity is known by several different names. Windigo, Wittigo, Wittico, and Weetigo all share a common translation: the evil spirit that devours mankind. The lore of the Windigo has been passed down through many generations of indigenous peoples, including the Algonquian Ojibwe, Eastern Cree, Saulteaux, West Main Swampy Cree, Naskapi, and Innu peoples. These cultures describe the Windigo as towering giants, surpassing human size by many times. According to folklore, their appearance may vary, but a common belief among these cultures is that the Windigo is a malevolent and cannibalistic supernatural being closely associated with winter, the north, coldness, famine, and starvation. According to Algonquian legend, the Windigo is a ghastly sight to behold. Its skeletal and deformed body lacks lips and toes, presenting a terrifying visage. Even though tribes describe it differently, the creature is often portrayed as a towering entity with a mouth devoid of lips, filled with jagged teeth. Its breath emits an eerie hiss, and its footprints stain the snow with blood. The Windigo preys upon any individuals who dare to venture into its territory, with those consumed considered fortunate. It may also choose to possess a person, transforming the unfortunate victim into a Windigo themselves, hunting down their loved ones and feasting upon their flesh. According to legend, a Windigo is born whenever a human resorts to cannibalism in order to survive. In the harsh snow and ice of the northern woods, quick decisions were often made to prevent starvation. Due to lack of food, stranded individuals often felt compelled to consume the deceased, with the understanding that doing so might attract a Windigo. Some variations of the legend even suggest that extreme greed and gluttony can attract the attention of the Windigo. Many believe that this myth began as a means to promote cooperation and self-control among these communities. Some Native American accounts speak of a colossal spirit standing over 15 feet tall, once human, but transformed into a Windigo through dark magic. Glowing eyes, long yellowed fangs, menacing claws, and an abnormally long tongue are all characteristic features attributed to this sinister creature. Its skin may be sallow and yellowish or covered in matted hair. The Windigo possesses various abilities and powers, including stealth, unparalleled hunting skills, extensive knowledge of its territory, and the ability to manipulate the weather through dark magic. Windigos are cursed to wander the land indefinitely, driven by an insatiable appetite for human flesh. It is believed that Windigos hunt unsuspecting victims for extended periods, thanks to supernatural speed, endurance, and heightened senses. A Windigo's hearing is so profound they can pick up on panicked heartbeats from miles away. Once they have exhausted all possibilities and no victims remain, they will perish from starvation. But make no mistake, the terror doesn't end there. The legend of the Windigo has influenced a medical term known as Windigo psychosis. This syndrome induces an intense craving for human flesh and a fear of becoming a cannibal. Instances of Windigo psychosis primarily manifest in individuals residing around the Great Lakes of Canada and the United States, particularly during harsh winter months when isolation is prolonged. Initial symptoms include loss of appetite, nausea, and vomiting. Eventually, affected individuals develop a delusion of transforming into a Windigo monster. They perceive those around them as potential food sources while harboring an irrational fear of becoming cannibals themselves. Tradition dictated that native healers would attempt to cure those afflicted by Windigo psychosis. However, in cases where attempts failed and the possessed person posed a threat to others through violent or antisocial behavior, execution was often deemed necessary. Reports of Windigo psychosis date back several centuries, leaving a dark stain on the history of these lands. Historical accounts reveal horrifying tales associated with the Windigo. In 1661, a document called Jesuit Relations described the gruesome fate of men afflicted with an ailment unknown to the European settlers. These men became ravenous for human flesh, devouring women, children, and even other men like veritable werewolves. Death was the only remedy to stop their murderous rampage. Another chilling case occurred in 1878 when a tribal man named Swift Runner, a Plains Cree trapper, experienced one of the most severe instances of Windigo psychosis. Swift Runner began experiencing uncontrollable outbursts that were heightened by drinking. Because of these violent tendencies, he was kicked out of his tribe. As winter became harsh and prolonged its affliction, he was overcome with Windigo psychosis and could not handle the overwhelming desire for the unnatural. One day, Swift Runner took his family, his wife, 6 children, his mother-in-law, and brother out into the forest. He wasn't seen for several months. In the spring, Swift Runner staggered out of the woods and into a nearby Catholic mission. A priest approached him and asked what was wrong. Swift Runner said his entire family was dead. He then explained that he hadn't been able to find any food. Slowly, one relative at a time starved to death. It was then determined by the authorities that Swift Runner murdered his wife and family and then cooked and ate their flesh. He was arrested, brought to trial, and in December of 1879, Swift Runner was hanged at Fort Saskatchewan for his crimes. Sightings of the Windigo have been reported in various regions, including northern Minnesota and the Canadian province of Ontario. Numerous witnesses, including traders, trackers, and trappers, claim to have encountered the creature over the years. The belief in its existence remains strong, and the Windigo continues to haunt the nightmares of those living in these areas. The legend of the Windigo stands as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can dwell within the human soul. Some believe that indigenous peoples have used this legend as a tool to create peace and structure in their tribes. Others believe that people have truly experienced a horrific creature and been possessed by its psychosis. What do you believe? As the wilderness whispers its secrets, the question remains, does the Windigo still roam the woods, silently waiting for its next victim? The truth may forever remain hidden in the shadows of these ancient lands and the folklore of their history. While the Windigo will continue to hold unanswered questions and create more mystery, it's up to you to decide. Is it just a legend? Thank you so much for watching today, sharing, and commenting. I couldn't do this without you, and I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you again soon.